Beating the odds, week 15, releasing a day early. We do have 3 games tomorrow. That is Saturday, so you know, you fantasy players. Game at noon, game at 3, and a game at 7. Heading into the home stretch here, 4 weeks left for our season-long competition. Season standings, we have Mike Story at 28-13-1, Sean Gocher 26-14-2, I am 23-19, and Joe is 20-22. Rough week last week. Would have been a winning week. Me and Joe both had Patrick Mahomes over 273 yards passing. Ended at 271. So Kadarius Toney definitely fucked our ass. Fucked the Chiefs' ass. He's been fucking a lot of ass. Let's hit the phones.
Hey, Rob. This is Mike Story with Sports Betting Intel. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a good one. We had a good week last week. Let's keep it rolling. Let's finish out the season strong. I got 3 picks for you this week. I got 1 prop and 2 spreads. Let's start with the prop. I'm going with Chuba Hubbard over 15 and a half rushing attempts. That Chuba Hubbard, as you'll know, he's the lead back now for the Carolina Panthers. He's had 20-plus attempts in the last 2 weeks, and this has come on the heels of Frank Reich and a bunch of their coaches being fired. So he's been the Panthers' best offensive player. That's including their first-round pick, the first overall pick this year. It's a pretty soft matchup. Weather looks a little suspect. I think they're going to want to keep it on the ground. I think Carolina just wants to get out of this season with everything kind of intact here. So the Falcons are giving up 25-plus rushes attempts over the last 6 games. So Chuba Hubbard over 15 and a half rush attempts, pick number 1. Pick number 2, Kansas City Chiefs minus 7.5 at minus 120 versus the New England Patriots. I bought this down from 8, hoping not to get caught on the push, but 7.5, minus 7.5 is the pick, Kansas City Chiefs. This one is, I think that everybody knows the stat about how Andy Reid coming off of a loss is 55 and 36 against the spread, whatever it is. I don't care about that. This one just goes back to, this is an emotional loss last week for the Chiefs, for Andy Reid, for Patrick Mahomes. I see them coming out swinging hardcore while the New England Patriots just kind of limp out of the season. Bill Belichick era is done at the end of this year. Yes, they did beat Pittsburgh last week, but I don't think Pittsburgh is that good of a team. Patriots ranked bottom 3rd, bottom 5th in offensive yards, last in points per game, 28th on 3rd down. While the Chiefs' offense isn't that great, their defense is outstanding. So I think the Chiefs are going to walk away with this one, Chiefs minus 7.5. And then finally, we're going to go with Baltimore minus 3.5 on Sunday night versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this one, again, Jacksonville looked okay last week, but you've got a hobbled Trevor Lawrence. I think they're a bit of a pretender this year. Definitely the pretenders of the AFC. Baltimore is a far superior team. You can cite all the statistics, all the metrics on the offensive side, on the defensive side. Jacksonville doesn't look that good just in general. Travis Etienne is their playmaker, and he's been a little banged up towards the end of the season, whereas Baltimore seems to be firing on all cylinders, even without Mark Andrews. I would love it at 3. It's 3.5 there at minus 105, so you're getting a little bit of a discount on the Ravens. Minus 3.5, so that's our 3rd pick this week. And again, this one is strictly a narrative focus, but I think that the books are begging you to take the Jaguars at home at plus 3.5, and so I'll take the other side of that, minus 3.5 Baltimore Ravens. That's it for me. Good luck this week. Let's make some money.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. Hope we're busy crushing the books. Had an ugly week last week. It's time for a bounce back. So let's go. I'm going to start over here with Buffalo minus 2 versus the Cowboys. I think, Buffalo needs to win. They have a lot to prove. A bit of a letdown spot for the Cowboys. I mean, look who they just beat. So I think it's a letdown spot. I think it's the right spot for Buffalo to get back on track here. Dallas is a little weak with the strength of schedule outside of that Philly list. They'll go for, speaking of their bounce back spot, Miami minus 9.5. I mean, they lost to the Titans. Good God. They got to be pissed. Jets are in a letdown spot. So I think it's a perfect spot for Miami to bounce back, and I don't think 9.5 is going to be too tough for them to cover. I'm going with 4 total picks here. We'll have to just do 1 on the last week. So next one we go Bears, Browns, and this might be my top play. Bears, Browns under 38. Low number. You got one of the better defenses. Most don't realize the Bears defense is 5th in DVOA since week 8. Pretty crazy. I don't see a lot of points like that. Under 38. My last play, I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos team total over 20.5 minus 120. The Lions are 30th DVA since week 7. It's deceiving because they started off so great, but they haven't been looking good, and I don't think there's going to be a problem with the Broncos putting up those points. So that's what we're going with. 4-0 sweep. Good luck to everyone.
All right, moving over to my picks. I got 1 line and 2 props. I'm going to start with my line. You heard it from Story. Also, I have Chiefs minus 7.5. It's minus 120. For all the reasons he said, they have to win this game. And not only that, they're not going to mess around. I feel like the Patriots are just going to mail this one in. They're going to win by 21 at least. Big game for Mahomes. Big game for that defense. My 2 props. This first one's pretty weird. I hate this guy, but it's a good spot for him. It's Adam Thielen over 42.5 rushing and receiving yards. A.J. Terrell is going to lock down Mingo and whoever's on the outside. I see him getting at least 8 targets in this game. 42 yards is pretty low. Last prop, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Been struggling in the last couple of weeks. Lions been struggling. I took his rushing and receiving yards. His receiving yards is 70. I took rushing and receiving over 71.5. He's known to get a carry or 2 for 15 yards. Love him bouncing back. I think he gets this in the first half. Joe could not call in today, so I'll just read off his picks. He has 3 picks, 3 props for us. First prop is George Kittle over 46.5 receiving yards. They are against the Cardinals. Second prop, Rachaad White over 101.5 rushing and receiving yards. They are against the Packers. And he also has Amon-Ra St. Brown. He took the receiving over 70.5. Let's go St. Brown, and let's keep on beating the odds.
We're beating the odds. We were beating the odds.